Hello, my name is Geogen and welcome back to Armoured Warfare. Today I'm going to conclude on the tier 3 MBTs and I'll do my Leopard 1 review. Since the previous two reviews, the recent patch has gone out which has changed a lot of the crew skills, which means the rate of fire and the DPM have been nerfed on all vehicles with the specific crew skills used on them in the commanders and the crew members. So that means the M60 and the T62 reviews are somewhat outdated with regards to the DPM and the rate of fire, and the Leopard 1 is not as good as it was with regards to those factors prior to the patch. But anyway, we'll go through as we did with the other two vehicles. Starting off with the damage, we have 263 damage with the fully upgraded ammunition and the same retrofits and such. Tier 2 retrofits with the addition of an enhanced drivetrain, but we'll get to that later. 263 damage though. It is better than that of the M60, which is diabolical. Its gun is not very good at all. 239, 225 penetration versus the 247 penetration on here. It's almost double. Wow, it's almost 25mm better. In fact, it's 22mm better. There you go. T62, however, gets better damage of 309 and decent penetration of 237, but not as good as the Leopard 1. It still lacks 10mm of penetration compared to this gun. This gun is very, very good. The DPM is the best in comparison to the other two. 2,920 used to be 3,133 to my knowledge. But the M60 is lagging behind, 2,212, and the T62, thanks to that great damage, has 2,506, but it has a worse rate of fire. So you have the best damage per minute, you have the best penetration, and you have middle of the road damage. You have middle of the road hit points as well, 1,405. The M60, well, credit where credit's due, has the most hit points, but not by much. T62 is lagging behind on 1159. Mobility is excellent in the Leopard, 67.47 km/h top speed, and wow, start again there. 0 to 32 in 6.4 seconds. I was just trying to get ahead of myself there, wasn't I? Camouflage is decent. 0.1 across the board, 400 meters view range, better view range than that of the M60, much better camouflage, similar view range, in fact identical view range but worse camouflage compared to the T62, which is understandable as it is a very low profile vehicle. Even the Leopard is slightly higher than the T62. Gun depression, -9 degrees, very nice indeed, something the M60 also shares. However, both of these vehicles have raised engine decks, which means the gun depression of the rear is not possible, and therefore you have to raise the gun by 2.5 degrees over the back of this Leopard, which is not good. 2 degrees on this vehicle, the M60. T62 has the worst gun depression over the front of -6, but it has -4 over the back, so there you go. Regardless, you're going to be shooting mostly over the front in this thing, so -9 is very good for firing on ridges. 33 degrees traverse speed of the turret is not bad. It's much better than the M60. 17 degrees is very slow. T62, however, 41.6 degrees a second traverse is very nice indeed. 5.4 second reload is great, but it's not as good as it used to be. It used to be 5.04 seconds. So there you go. 0.4 of a second slower reload compared to prior to this patch. But it is the best reload. This is 6.5 seconds. And this is 7.4 seconds. But at least you get that damage and that penetration compared to the M60. Accuracy is amazing. 0.09 accuracy spread or deviation. 2.1 second aim time. Better than that. Definitely better than the accuracy on the T62, and 0.5 of a second better in terms of aim time. M60 is very bad with its gun handling. 2.9 second targeting time is very, very bad indeed. So to summarize thus far, the Leopard 1 has very good mobility and gun handling good best penetration even, good damage, very, very nice DPM. Used to be better. It's a shame that they didn't nerf the crew skills, but the armor is a complete joke. It is 70 degrees. It is 70 millimeters sloped back, probably about 45 degrees on the hull, 45 at the sides, and 35 at the rear. 60 on the front of the turret, 60 on the side, and 60. No, it is 50 on the rear. You will be penetrated by heat repeatedly. Watch out for people firing heat at you. Your 1405 hit points will go down very quickly. I mean, there is some angling going on the turret, and if they fire an AP shell, they may bounce off the gun mantle. Possibly. It's unlikely. They may even bounce off the side of the turret, but it is going to pen most of the time. You will regret staying still in this vehicle. Peek on ridgelines perhaps, that's fine, but staying still in the open will get you killed. Like in most vehicles, you do not rely on the armor in this vehicle, especially, however, and it's something you're going to have to learn if you're going to play this line, especially up until tier 6. The tier 8 and 9 don't have this problem, however, in terms of their turret armor. But we're at tier 3 with the Leopard 1. That was the main stats. We'll just go over the crew and the commander. Commander I use is Freya. You can use other commanders, of course. Perhaps you could use Victor. He has quite a good MBT set of skills, but I prefer Freya for module damage improvements, aim speed improvements, ammo swap improvements, reload reduction improvements, and damage to enemy crew increased for 60 seconds after module destruction, which is nice, very nice. Can give you the edge sometimes, not often, but sometimes. Smooth ride, accuracy improved by 20% on the move. You will want to move a lot in this vehicle, and therefore you may want to take a few shots on the move. Marksman, peak accuracy. The aim time is good enough, so I don't need aim time improvements. Therefore, getting that accuracy as good as possible is my intention. When fully aimed, that is. And reload time reduced by 2.5%. The nerfs are so cripplingly bad. Well, they're not cripplingly bad, but they are annoying. But it was necessary. In terms of the ammo loadout, I have the majority AP, 26 rounds, 16 heat, and 7 high explosive. You do have several different ammunition choices, not any in the heat. You only have one set of heat. You have 2 HE and 4 different types of armor piercing. Your lowest penetration is 219, and your highest is 247. The upgrade between here and here is not significant, really, in terms of penetration, but damage is better. Consumables are the standard array of fire extinguisher, first aid kit, and repair kit, along with the low tier field maintenance kit. You can use the premium variants with the 10% bonus, but I prefer to use these. Although, having that 10% bonus is nice, and I wouldn't advise not going against that. So yeah, use them if you want to. The advanced funnel sleeve for the better reload time, better DPM, better rate of fire, etc, etc. Improved hit points by 9.38% is also very nice. And the enhanced drivetrain improves the tire traverse speed by 12%, so it is slower to begin with. It's in the 20s before I put this improvement on, and you also get an improvement to the max speed. So, those were the stats. Let's have a look at some gameplay. So here we are with the Leopard 1. As you can see, we're on the map Reactor, and more importantly, the acceleration of the vehicle is very good indeed, as was highlighted by the stats in the garage. 70 kilometers an hour there you saw we reached because we managed to get down the slope and use gravity to our effect, and again here. So basically you're better than that of the T62 in your mobility, and that will allow you to get to positions much quicker, and definitely much quicker than that of the M60. Climbing is not bad either. We did lose some speed, or are losing speed, but we still managed to climb this slope at 30 odd kilometers an hour. So not too bad at all. we've reached where I would like to defend / attack from, and this is these set of ridge lines in the middle of the map. Using some good cover from the right hand side, just about, we can take shots at that AMX-10P. Managed to get a hit and an overmatch, so the amount of damage was slightly reduced compared to what we could have done perhaps, but 250 damage is around what you're going to see with these AP rounds. Like I said, it's not as good as that of the T62's damage output, but for a single shot, but it is better than the M60. Getting hit by LAV fire there, one of them does penetrate, but the LAV is a tier 2 vehicle, and its autocannon is effective against armor without a huge amount of thickness. But the turret armor, it is curved, it is 60mm, so he is going to struggle to penetrate, especially at distance with his AP rounds. We get a couple of shots into him, and we managed to get an engine shot there because the T62 just manages to angle his armor slightly too much, and we have a shot on his engine, even though, in my opinion, that shot looked a bit dodgy. Penetrate the pattern 48 and 48 pattern, but we only hit his cupola, so we only do very minor damage, 90, not a full penetrating hit. I don't think I'd be able to penetrate the front of his turret, even though it is a tier 2 vehicle. Side of an M48 Panzer turret, however, 261 damage, not too bad at all. And we're up to 1500 damage already in 7 hits. And like I said, the reload is not too bad either, and I don't know where that shot went, to be honest. It was a perfectly aimed shot at the 254. Second one goes in and overmatches, and also causes some damage to, I think, the commander. Doesn't knock them out, however. So keep using this ridgeline, keep using that good gun depression, keep using that mobility. Artillery isn't in this match, it is tier 3, although tier 4, well actually there was one tier 4 on the enemy team, but he's gone. So we shouldn't worry about the artillery mechanics in this game because there aren't any. But it is good to remain mobile regardless. Good aim time on the gun means you can get nice well placed shots very easily. Some automatic gunfire going in from that MX-10P, and we were side on, so we should be careful not to expose too much of the hull armor like that. Even though he is firing HE, he's still racking up quite a lot of damage. He manages to get 114 damage in a few hits. Interestingly, that Dragoon 90 he's got a capable gun, but he has elected to fire HE. Obviously he's a new player, and he doesn't realise, maybe not at this point anyway, that the Leopard doesn't have very, very good armour compared to that of the M60, or even the T62. He's still firing HE, but he is managing to do a decent amount of damage, even with HE. T62 there, more important target. Managed to get a hit into his engine, but it doesn't do any damage, but as you can see, he returns fire. But we get 2 shots for his 1 as he retreats. He's pulling forward again, but we pull back. Minimise the amount of our tank available. Managed to take a bounce. I assume that was off the very well angled hull armor, and you saw that we were able to just out DPM that guy, and he was on the majority of his hit points too. We get hit in the back there by Type 59 on the hill section. The hill section has been lost, but this this XM800T isn't really paying attention, and he's right in front of us, so we fire a heat round into him. And interestingly, that Type 59 fires at me, obviously intending to hit the AMX, the XM800T, but decides to fire at me even though he clearly saw him moving away. We get spotted there, and because we're on 64 hit points, we pop smoke. You do get 1 charge of smoke for those kind of hairy situations. But as you saw, heat does penetrate through it, the hull very easily, and through the turret sides and front if you hit it outside the gun mantle. Even if it's on your own team, there are team damaging effects in these kind of games, which, well, I'm not sure if it is good or bad, really. I think it's just something you have to be used to. Gun depression is good, but not that good, so we have to go down the slope a bit, but we managed to get a good meaty shell into the side of that pattern. Tier 2s and 1s even are very much outclassed by Leopards and M60s and T62s. The tier spread in this game is supposed to be one tier up and down, I think, but they've been having difficulties with that, as you are well aware if you play Armoured Warfare. And if you don't, then I wonder why you're watching this review. So, we have conducted 4,000 damage and 18 hits and taken 14 hits, well, a lot of that was autocannon fire, for 1,300 damage. So, you saw that our hit points did go down very, very quickly indeed, and I was very lucky to bounce a couple of shots. You saw one there bounce off the very angled hull armour from that T62. You saw the little chink of metal there, a little silver bit on the front of the hull, which would signify a bounce. Capping the enemy base, well, an XM800T is just to make sure that we'd win. I don't think that Leopard Type 59 or M41 Walker Bulldog are going to do too much about it, but it pays to be safe, doesn't it? Not in these kind of matches. You know how it can quickly change, especially if, say, all of us were on very low health. Even though the mobility of the tank is good, especially on flat terrain such as this, we're still accelerating up to our top speed, we aren't going to get there in time. And that's a game over. But a good result for the Leopard 1, 3 kills of our own, 4,000 damage. Just take a brief look at the post-game stats. And there it is, 6,443 experience, 150,000 credits. We're a premium, top on the team on damage and spots and base experience. That's what you can do in a Leopard in tier 3 matchmaking, top tier matchmaking, with the exception of tier 4 at the beginning. But it was mostly a tier 3 match. Let's take a brief look back in Garage just to have a conclusion. So there you have it, the Leopard 1. Quite the list of good attributes to do with the vehicle. Great mobility, great gun handling, best penetration, moderate damage. Terrible armour, unfortunately, but it has to be counteracted, doesn't it? With great mobility comes lacking armour. And, well, you can get the occasional bounce on certain vehicles, from certain vehicles, such as those armed with low tier 25mm autocannon, the LAV-150 as you saw in the gameplay. But heat rounds, AP rounds, HE rounds, it doesn't matter, they're going to pen you and do damage. Not so much with the HE, but definitely with the heat and the AP ammo. But there you go. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like down below, possibly share it, and tell me your thoughts if you want to leave a comment on the Leopard, if you've played it, if you're going to play it, or if you prefer one of the other two. If you haven't seen the other two reviews, you can have a look, they'll be in the description. But as always, I've been Geogen, and I'll see you chaps and chapettes in the next one.